Good morning, good morning, good morning. Did not mean to have that up, but good morning. Happy Thursday. We are here, we are alive, and I am so thankful to be here with you all. So, today we're actually going to go around a little bit. Um, and morning, Paula. Good morning. We are going to shift the conversation a little bit only because your girl spoke last night. I spoke, and I just thought it was just so fitting to be doing this series, this 21 days, and at the same time continue to thrive and live and being my, authentic self, embracing who I am and what God is calling me to do. And I actually had the opportunity. The opportunity was presented to me, I think, the day that I started this series. So what's today's 14? So 14 days ago. And I said yes to it. And I showed up and I showed out and I did everything that felt right to me. And I just want to talk about that. A lot of things happened last night that we've talked about. So receiving compliments, people being excited to hear your story, people being excited to meet you that you didn't even know that they were going to meet you, or that you didn't know that they was expecting to meet you. So a lot has happened last night. So I just wanted to share this with you because I think so often, we see people do these types of challenges and they talk about these different things of the things that they're struggling with, but we never really get to see them live it out in the moment. And I think this was one of those situations where I was able to see myself do everything or embrace everything that we have been talking about for the last 14 days. So last night, I spoke at the Tulsa Remote Anniversary Celebration. So just to give everyone a quick overview, the Tulsa Remote program is the program that helped me to relocate to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they paid me $10,000 to do it. This program's been around for about 5 years now. I think it's a little over 5 years, and it's been a great opportunity for me to, one, get out of New York, two, to just continue to grow and thrive as an individual, to embrace who I am, to see where I'm really strong at, where I might have second guessed myself, especially when we're talking about moving away. I have never moved out of New York State. So I went to college in New York, but in Westchester, and I stayed on campus. So I have lived away from home. And I moved out of away from my mother and my sister when I turned 21. So that wasn't the problem. The problem was never leaving the state and saying, I'm packing up my life and I'm going to relocate. And my roots are still in New York. I still own property in New York. My family's in New York. I try to go as often as I can. And I say as I can because for me, going back to New York is energetically draining. So it's not even like the cost of living. Like, I didn't have those realities that a lot of people had. Like, I wasn't paying $3,000 rent. Like, that wasn't my story. So I didn't move to Tulsa with like that. Oh, my rent was $3,000 and now it's $1,000 in Tulsa. My bills did go down though. I will say that. So yeah. And so I moved here November 2023, and it's only a year commitment. So your $10,000 is for 1 year. And after your year, you make a decision if you want to stay or not. Of course, I'm staying. Many other people have stayed. One of my really good friends, she is actually celebrating her 4th year still being in Tulsa. She loves it as well. So it's a lot of people that still literally live here. That's why it's considered one of the most successful programs, because there's a lot of programs like Illinois, Indiana, they have a lot of programs. Arkansas has one. I think Georgia, one of the cities in Georgia is doing something like this as well. Rochester, New York, it's a lot of cities. So if you want to go, you can go to makemymove.com, and I have no affiliation with them, but that's where I have seen all of the US based relocation programs. So at the end of your year, we have a celebration, and they will bring back alumni to come and speak, just share their experience. What was it like for you? They ask questions like, how was your first 3 to 6 months? And I was actually trying to share a video to this, but for whatever reason, it would not airdrop in time, and I didn't want to wait, and then I would have to convert it from an MOV to an MP4, and that was going to just take too much time. But I will be posting it on all my socials. YouTube will have the different clips of me speaking. So that's what the celebration is about. It's just a celebration of people completing their first year. This month we had two groups. February, when they had the celebration last month, they had to cancel it because of a snowstorm that we had here in Tulsa. And then also the people that are finishing up for the month of March. And they always, like I said, they always ask alumni to come back and to speak and to share. So I actually was, we call a fire chat. I sat with, I think her name was Claire. I think Claire has been here since 2021. So she's been here a little bit longer. She was able to share a lot of insight in her journey and how, Tulsa has been helpful to her and her family. So I think it was just overall, it was just a really amazing, hold on. I feel like my internet is trying to act up. I feel like it was just a really amazing conversation. But let me tell you what happened, that I did have some uncomfortable moments, right? Those are the things that I feel like we always have, and you have been hearing me speak about these things. So if you don't know, I was also on House Hunters. So I purchased a house. That Alexa be doing too much. So I purchased a house here in Tulsa, and I pitched myself, and I got on House Hunters. So as I'm sitting there, because when you first come in, it's like, happy hour, networking, you're talking, you're having talking to your friends, eating some food. And so the waitress comes up to me, and she was like, were you on House Hunters? And I was like, yes. And she was, oh my gosh, I want to take a picture with you. She was like, what did she say? She was like, you make me want to move back because I moved to North Tulsa. And she was like, you make me actually want to move back to North Tulsa. Your house was so cute. I guess they had just seen it, her and her mom. And she was like, and when I heard, she was like, the relocation program, she said, I had a feeling that it was Tulsa Remote. And she knows that every month they do our anniversary celebration there. So she was like, I was hoping that I would see you one day at this celebration, because she typically works in. And so she got to see me, and that was one of those experiences. And it reminds me of the experience I had when I was featured in Cosmo years ago. And I went to Target 8 o'clock in the morning, whatever time Target used to open up. And I went in there, and I'm just hoodie on. And this girl is screaming, and she's all excited. And I'm looking at her why? Why? And I think because so many times we just don't expect certain things. I walk around in Tulsa all the time. I see people. Some people do recognize me, and they do say things, and then a lot of people just don't, right? I've actually seen people look, and they'll just keep on walking. And that's fine with me. I'm not one of those people I'm not attention seeking. I'm not look at me, look at me. Some people are, I'm not. I am okay being in the corner, being in the back, minding my business. But as always, that's not how God works. So that was one of those uncomfortable moments. But another uncomfortable moment for me was someone came to me at the end of the night and was like, when I saw that you were going to be speaking, I said, I need to be there because I want to hear her speak. So I don't even know, because I was asked to be a speaker, I'm not a part of the correspondence that's going out for the anniversary people. So I think, and I do recall when I was celebrating my anniversary, I think we did get a separate email to like highlight, and I think they might have highlighted the speakers that were going to speak. But somewhere he saw that I was going to be speaking, and I was just like, me, like, one, I was like, where did they advertise I was going to be speaking? But two, me, and I was just, that really, again, and made me think about all the conversations that we've had in these last days. And it's like, no, you have to embrace that. You want people to be excited. If you are going to walk in this, if you wanted one day to become one of the worldwide, well-known motivational, inspirational speakers like Eric Thomas and all these other people like Tony Robbins, you have to embrace that. You have to get excited, and you have to embrace that people are going to be excited to hear you speak. And that is something that I think I'm still going to have to continue to embrace and not shy away from. So I didn't shy away from it. I embraced the conversation. We even took a picture together. Even the lady for House Hunters who was looking at me, and she came back outside, asked her boss to take a picture. Her boss was like, who is this lady and why do you want to take a picture with her? And she was like, no, she was on House Hunters, and oh my gosh, I just love her story. And I was just like, wow. But again, it's about embracing those different things. So that was like the overall uncomfortable moments that I am embracing, that I'm, getting comfortable again. And I'm sharing that because I think so often, like I said, people talk about all of these different things, but we never get to really see them in action, actually applying it. And that's where I'm trying to embrace a little bit more. So what was the overarching message? What did I share? If you have, and we've had these moments, some mornings I'm sitting here tearing up, I'm crying. And last night it was like choked up, my throat was closed. But shared everything, like, why did I want to move to Tulsa? Why did I want to leave my hometown and move to this town of like 400,000 people in the middle of the country, where we are in Tornado Valley? Why would I want to move there? So I shared that, and I was honest. Like, I think the one thing that I always want people to remember is I'm always going to be honest about my journey. Right. And so I didn't care for New York. I got tired of New York after 39 years. I was tired. I was actually ready to move and leave New York in 2015, but never wanted to follow where everyone else was going. And I really just kept getting stuck, and I didn't know like where to go. So, oh, thank you, Bola. I love you. So I think it was just really great to just share that. And so many, I've seen people in the audience like, yeah, I understand. And actually there was a fellow New Yorker who was in the audience. She actually left New York, I think she said 2020. So she fully understood what I was talking about. And I was just like, I'm gonna share that real quick. And so it was just like, she was like, I hear you, New York. And I was just like, she was from the Bronx. So, us New Yorkers, we're a little unhinged sometimes. Paula said you impact each attendee last night and they'll amplify you. Yes. And I do believe that, Paula. I do believe that when you just show up and just be authentically you, people are going to start talking about you in a good way, right? Hey, I heard this girl, she was talking, she was speaking, and people just start to share that message. And honestly, that's what I want. I want to get back to that place where, when someone is having a conversation amongst themselves, when a networking and a business meeting, a planning meeting, they're planning the sessions for the semester, and they like, we need someone to come in. I want people to be like, oh, I know this girl Tanisha. I know Miss Inspiration. We need to get her in here. That's what I pray for. And I know it has to be moments like this. So I had to get up there, and I had to really just go and just give it my all and be authentically raw me. Yeah, Bola, you know how New Yorkers are. You know how we are. Just sometimes we're not that bad. But, and I think that's the part that I have to just continue to remember. I said yes to this because I know that this is the year. See, last year in 2024, I just allowed myself to embrace being in Tulsa, right? I allow myself to embrace the change, because if you did not know me, especially the last 6, 7 years in New York, I didn't go outside that much, right? I did not have the motivation. I did not have the momentum. I didn't have the mental capacity, the traffic, everything that people love. My soul and my spirit was like, we can't do this, girl. We can't do this. We can't do this long term. This is too much. When the pandemic happened, I was excited because now I'm like, I don't have to be in traffic. I don't have to go outside. I don't have to battle on the trains and worry about train delays. This was my heaven, but that was also my prison because I was keeping myself stuck. When the city opened back up, I still did not do much. I did not do as many activities as I could have because of the time that I have extra resources. I didn't do it. I would rather pack up a bag and go to another city. And so that's when I knew, like, yeah, you have to get out of here. And when I got to Tulsa, it was freedom. It was like, wait, I can go to these events and I don't have to fight for parking. Oh, I don't have to pay $80 to park my car downtown. I think it's only been about 2 situations where I went somewhere and we didn't have parking. 2 situations. And honestly, I'm gonna be 100. One of those situations, I was on my monthly. So I just didn't have the patience to even look for parking. It was like, I think I went around 2 times, no parking, go back home. And that's just me being honest. I was just like, okay. But it's easier to go out here. It's not as expensive. And I also walked into a community. Tulsa Remote, we have access to an application called Slack. You probably heard it. It's a regular application that companies use. And there we have like over 150 Slack channels for different interests. So you have it for the families. So mom and dads can come in and they want to have play dates. There's a channel there. Hey, who wants to meet up at XYZ Park? Because we have nothing but parks here in Tulsa, beautiful parks. And they can do that. But then if you want to go hiking, there's a hiking group, there's a day trip group, there's a theater group, they're foodies, right? We have a lot of foodies. Actually, I'm planning a outing where some of the ladies that I met last night, we're going to go around to the different wing spots in Tulsa and we're going to just try. And I was like, maybe we all go, we get some wings and then we come back to like somebody's house or to a common place. Maybe do that instead of like driving around because they're kind of like at a distance of each other. But we have opportunities to have community here if you put yourself out there. And I did do that. And I'm very excited to do that. But this year, I'm being even more intentional in my speaking business. And the one thing I can say about Tulsa has amazing entrepreneurial opportunities, business writers, help you with your business plans. So many opportunities to apply for grants. And they have, what do they call it? The pitch nights. I went to a couple of pitch nights and you're just hearing people who are either been working on this project for many of years to I started my business last month or last year because of XYZ. And these people are winning from $1,000 to $20,000. When I first got here, I met someone, she took me out for coffee and we were speaking. She was telling me, actually I gotta follow up with her because now I'm like, I'm ready. And she's in also the educational ed tech, she's in the ed tech space with me, and she has received her own grants, $5,000, and then has moved on to, I think, receive like up to $25,000. So there's opportunities here. So that's the one thing I tell, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a creative, this is actually a great place to be in because you will get access to resources if you tap into it. And one of the other beautiful parts about Tulsa Remote is that we get a 3-year co-working space with Gradient. It used to be called 36 Degrees North, but they just did a whole rebrand and they moved to a big space. You get 3 years co-working space. And they also put together different workshops and activities. So they partner with the local colleges and they offer If you need to learn how to use QuickBooks, if you need to learn how to use Excel, like Power BI, they do workshops for that. They also will bring like a financial literacy coach that will come and help you to your personal finances and also your business. So there's a wealth of information here that I'm like, now is the time for you to tap in. I'm about to join the Black Wall Street Chambers of Commerce. Another aspect to like tap in, get my name out there, be a part of the community, bringing more businesses into Tulsa to support not just the Black community, but support everyone. And that's really why I do like the Black Wall Street Chambers of Commerce, because that's their overarching goal, is to help everyone, give them the resources that they need. So 2025 is going to be a very intentional year for me as a speaker, because I'm saying yes, like we going, let's go. And I'm looking forward to bringing my workshops here. So even last night, someone was like, call me, we could talk about someone on workshops. And I was like, say less. I want to make it happen. I have to make it happen. And, because I have great friends, one of my friends, she had purchased my book, Dear Single in Love. Now I'm gonna tell you what she did to me, and I'm not upset with her, but so I got my first wholesale distribution with one of the stores here, Black Wall Street Corner Store and more, located down in Greenwood, and those books are all autographed. So I said to her, I was like, yeah, go buy the books. She was like, no, I'm gonna get it from Amazon, and then you are going to sign it personally. And me just doing that, people were like, so you got more books? So now I'm like, literally, I came home last night with a homework assignment. Like, you have to got to order these books, not only for my wholesale distribution partnership, but also for myself. And when I start going out and just start going different places, I'm just gonna have to carry those books with me, or at least have them available, because people were ready to buy books that day. They was like, "Oh, you got books? Oh no, you got no." And so I'm just like, "All right, God, I hear you, and I'm just knowing like I have to just be prepared." And I think that was the beautiful part about that. But I think overall it was a great conversation. As Jessica said, it got very emotional, because one of the questions that they did ask us was, what was the biggest challenge that you had moving to Tulsa? And I think for me, I didn't have any challenges in Tulsa. My challenge was leaving my family, what I would say is it was in a sensitive, vulnerable space. When I left, my mom was in the midst of healing, and she's still healing. Her health took a turn for a moment, and I knew she was going to be okay, but I was just like, okay, I'm going to make sure that my mom is set up and make sure she had her accessorized, she's staying at my place, and, we're working out how those bills are going to get paid. I'm just like, I have to go. And I think that's one of the hardest parts about, having a parent who is up in age, and you're in that space where I gotta go. And that's when it got emotional. So I'm not gonna cry, because, I think I felt like I was putting so much stress on my sister, and my sister was like, girl, I needed you to go, because you were miserable here. Right. And I know exactly what she means, because when I realized that I had an anger problem years ago, when I first started my healing, my anger was one of the first things that I had to work on, because I started to realize how miserable that has to be around someone who's always angry, who's always mad. And when I worked on that, and I started to be around people that were angry and mad about everything. I mean, I used to get mad about everything. And so when she said that, it made sense. Like, yeah, I need you to go, because the longer that you stay here, you're going to be miserable. We're going to be miserable, because all you're going to do is complain. And none of us is going to have peace. She's a little disrespectful sometimes, but that's why I love my sister. And now we spend so much time together. Like, she will fly out and meet me somewhere. Like, I'm going to see her next week. We're going to Dallas. When I was in Columbia, she came to Columbia. Like, we see each other more. And I know that it's because the peace that I'm carrying, right? being in Tulsa, as much as I know, it doesn't make sense to a lot of people. When I talk to other people, especially from New York, people were like, "Oh, you think Tulsa's better than New York?" That's not what I said. Tulsa's better for me. Tulsa's better for me energetically. When you are tapping into the spiritual realm, and you start understanding like the calling part of your life, and you start understanding, you have to identify where you are in toxic. And that could be relationships, that could be your work environment, friendships. You have to be very mindful of that. And I was. And so because I was mindful of that, it helped me to walk away and step away from an environment that was just not healthy for me. So I think people hear what they want to hear. And that's why they can't receive my opinion of what my journey and my peace looks like. Some people are never going to get out of the hustle and bustle of New York City, and kudos to them. I pray that they do, because it is a very unhealthy place, and I think that when people are placed in a space, it's like relaxation, where you hear birds, you can go outside, you feel the sun, you see the sun, you hear, like, it's just a different environment. Many people don't know how to deal with that. That's why we do see these videos and clips. Y'all have seen them on social media. And they always talk about when New Yorkers go down south and the quiet is suspicious to them. It's too quiet. Yeah, because we're so prone to just having noise. It's nothing for us in New York City to lay down 3 o'clock in the morning and hear sirens and police and ambulance all day, all night. And you just laying there, you sleeping like a baby. You like, Now you go somewhere that is quiet and you hear crickets and you're hearing the birds chirp. That's suspicious to you? And I tell them that's because you have not started that inner healing of that particular part. When I came out here, I really thought the first night that I slept in my house by myself, I thought I was going to be paranoid. I thought I was going to be afraid. I slept like a baby. Like a baby. I was in here like drooling, woke up in the morning like, oh, like I actually slept through the whole night, because that's how peaceful it felt for me. And this is what I've been wanting. So that's why I say, like, people got to just do what's best for them. And I feel like a lot of people just have to get to, hey, good morning, Fifi. Good morning. Fifi is on Instagram. She's one of my TR friends. And I have to see you because I'm back there. I'm back in Tulsa, Fifi. So we need to meet up. But yeah, so I think that's just one of those issues that a lot of us just have, and so for me, I just like to share those things, especially for people who are coming from larger cities, because I think so often that's one of the fears, oh, how did you adjust? Are you sure that, I had a young lady say to me on Instagram, it was on Instagram, it was a post and someone was talking about like the 10 states that you can afford a house. And someone was like, but no one wants to live in those cities, in those states. And of course, Oklahoma was one of them states. And I was like, look, I understand. If you would have told me 5 years ago, at the start of the pandemic, if you would have said to me, Tanisha, in 2023, you're moving to Oklahoma, I would have probably laughed in your face. Now, I would have laughed in your face. Oklahoma was never on my radar, not even OKC. Okay, I never had a desire, like, I want to go to OKC. Never did that. And Tulsa was even far from my list. But when I got here, it felt like home. That's when I was just like, and then when I saw them home prices, oh, okay, I'm gonna make this happen, right? I follow Fifi says she is buying this year. Let's keep them. Fifi, let me tell you something. I don't even think the market is a problem. I think most people are still not comfortable with the tornadoes and them damaging winds that we get unexpectedly. I think that keeps people away from Tulsa and Oklahoma overall. But when I just got to that point, I was just like, God, we have to, just do what's going to be best for you. And I feel like that message was definitely conveyed last night. So many people came up to me after and having conversation, and it just confirms and affirmed for me that I'm truly walking in my purpose. And I remember being in Colombia, and I think I told y'all about what happened. I was in Colombia. I prayed that morning. I was talking to God, and I was like, should I continue with this Miss Inspiration? Should I put it to the wayside? I don't know. What should I do? And that night, I went to the Bob Marley birthday celebration that someone had, because there was a Jamaican restaurant in Colombia. Food was pretty good. And as I'm about to pay, this woman walks up to me and she was like, I've been following you for like 4 years on Instagram. And she was like, I was the reason why she was in Colombia, because she was seeing that I was there and I was going there for an extended amount of time. She was like, maybe it's a place that I can look into and see what I can learn. Fifi moved here shortly after me. And she said, yes, I love Tulsa. Things have been going well for me here. Yes. And I was right before you had joined Fifi, I was talking to them about Black Wall Street Chambers of Commerce. Fifi is a member. I'm gonna give you her handle. On Instagram, you can follow her. You can call me Fifi on Instagram. And she's definitely wealth of knowledge. We definitely have to meet up, because I am ready to join Black Wall Street Chambers of Commerce and just put myself more out there. And just be that, like, I'm claiming it now. Like, everybody's gonna be calling me for professional. Oh no, I'm sorry. Her Instagram. Let me put this up here. Fifi's Instagram. I forgot. Yes, you do have the nameplate lady. Oh my gosh, I wish I had my nameplate with me. She had made me this cute nameplate with my name on it. So I just put it into the chat for IG, and we're gonna put it up here. And she's another. If you have any questions about Tulsa Remote, you can go to the nameplate lady, and you can talk to Fifi, and she can also tell you about that. And like, yeah, she's over here. I'm over here reading her comments. She was like, yes, the Black Wall Street Chambers of Commerce, they're onto some big things. They are. I follow them. I follow the founder, the president. She's actually one of my sorors. And I'm like, I'm ready. I'm like, put out there, everyone who needs a speaker, you need someone to host and bring energy and positive vibes, I'm the person that you need to call. Like, that's just it. That's how I'm presenting. I'm walking in that. And last night confirmed that I'm doing just that. The response of the way that people respond, and just the conversations that we had for the few moments that we had after. Because afterwards, they was like, all right, it's time for y'all to go. Get out of here. Go home. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get out of there. And we just, had a great time. But yeah, so I just wanted to share that, because like I said, it was just so ironic to like, okay, I started this 21-day journey. And I've been talking about embracing the compliments, embracing your purpose, understanding that your gift has value. People are receiving that, people need it. And I know that for a fact, someone out there received something shift, something moved within them last night. And I'm thankful that Tulsa Remote gave me the opportunity to speak and to just share my journey. And I have been sharing my journey. Some of you on YouTube, you've been following me because I've been sharing my journey with Tulsa Remote. And I'm just going to keep doing what I'm called to do, and do it at the capacity and the way that I know that God wants me to do it. And I'm going to just keep showing up and showing out. And I encourage you, whatever it is that you're supposed to do, keep showing up, keep showing out, keep doing all those things that you know that you're supposed to do. Oh, Fifi said she said you were a huge reason I came to Tulsa. Let me tell you how I met Fifi, right? So Fifi was actually, we connected on TikTok, because TikTok I was also sharing. And we used to have something called, we still have it. It's called First Fridays. And there used to be an organization that would have like First Fridays, mixers. It was a dope experience. You had food, and this is all free, food, 2 drink tickets, and a bunch of networking. And I remember sitting outside because it was hot inside. And I'm sitting outside and I'm just talking to some of my other friends. And someone just looked at me and was like, Tanisha! And I was like, and I remember just, because again, this is where the New Yorker came in, like, who know my name out here? And and we just click send. So I think that's one of the moments that I will always appreciate about social media, because social media can bring us together. And one thing I love about Tulsa Remote, because so many it's you can literally go to an event that's not a Tulsa Remote event and still meet at least one other person that has been through the Tulsa Remote program. And I think that's the cool part about Tulsa. Yes, they do need to bring back the mixers. They do. I miss some mixers. I don't know what happened, but they need to bring it back. Or Fifi, we need to brainstorm. We could bring our own back. But yeah, so I just wanted to encourage you. I want to keep encouraging you. If you don't know what that is, continue to talk to God about it. Continue to do that inner work. Whatever it is that you have to do to help you to overcome those whatever the fears are, because I understand fears, it's a crippling thing and it's a real thing, but it is so, I want you to know that you can definitely do this. You can do whatever it is that you know in your heart that you need to do. Right. And I want you to continue to do that. I want you to continue to embrace that. And the more that we do it, I feel like, again, I'm always go back to that reference in the Bible where, we are a body, and each body part has a purpose. And if each person operates in their particular form in the body, we will all function best. But right now we have a whole bunch of people trying to be an arm, right? We have a whole bunch of people trying to be a toe. And God is like, well, we have organs. Everyone has emotion, and you just need to just get into that motion. And that's what I want people to do. Oh, they do? Oh, no, Fifi just told me that the chambers, they throw mixers too. See, I'm about to join. I'm going line out this morning. I'm gonna join today. I'm gonna just get it out the way. Right. Good morning. Good morning. So yes, I just wanted to come on and share. Please look out for those video clips. One of my friends, she did record me speaking. So I will put up those clips as well. And yeah, just keep on being amazing. We're back here tomorrow at 7 a.m. Central Time. And we have 7 more days. 7 more days. I am getting the feeling to continue this 7 a.m. At least through Monday to Friday after the 21 days are over. So it probably won't. It won't. I won't do like Saturday and Sunday. I will also just start going back to doing like pop-up lives as well. And I need to get back onto TikTok. So if you are not following me on TikTok, you can follow me at, I actually just changed my handle, Miss Inspiration 25, because someone is holding on to Miss Inspiration and it's not me. But if you are following me, if you are not following me, follow me on TikTok. But I will be going live, and I will maintain this 7 a.m. at Central Time, Monday to Friday, after we finish the 21 days. And trust me, next week I will have a guide for you all who are on this journey, on this journey of living and thriving in your gift, embracing who you are, what you're called to do. And yeah, that's it. So have an amazing day on purpose, with purpose. And for those of you that are watching on a replay, #replay, so that I know that you were here with me. And for those of you that were here live, I appreciate you for spending some time with me today and just helping me to reflect on this amazing opportunity that I had last night, collaborating and speaking with Tulsa Remote at the celebration. So I am your girl, Tanisha Shanae, Miss Inspiration. Have an amazing day. And I love you guys. Be well and be blessed.